Well, welcome to the Vitamin Professor video newsletter for Nutraland USA. And my guest is Elan Sudberg with Alkemist. So I really got to know Elan when we were both at a UNPA retreat in Utah, and found out that not only was he a really interesting guy, but maybe we wanted to do some business with him. And I, of course, I knew Alkemist by reputation. But Elan, if you'd be so kind, would you just tell our listeners just a little bit about what Alkemist is? Let's start there.
Sure. Yeah. So first, thank you for having me on this. I appreciate it. Lovely to get to know you as well. Sorry it took so long. We've been parallel for 20-something years.
Yeah.
So Alkemist Labs is a third-party, privately owned analytical testing laboratory. We specialize in plants and fungus. We don't touch probiotics, vitamins, enzymes, cheese, oil, gas, textiles, all the things that some of the other bigger labs do. Also, we are focused on plants and fungus. As I mentioned, privately held. My father and I started the company when I was just exiting high school, and he was beginning to exit a career in chiropractic and acupuncturist and herbal medicine. And we started by doing some quality control on his line of tinctures that he was creating in our garage at the time. And so we actually failed some materials, incoming raw materials. The vendor asked us to test it again, and then they asked us to test another batch or two, and we let them know we're not a lab, we're a tincture manufacturing in a garage. And they said that's great, and they sent some more samples, and we sort of accidentally became a testing lab. We were the only ones focusing on plants and fungus, and the only ones offering transparent reports, and they welcomed that. That brand is still a client today, and now we serve over thousands of companies around the world. Our name and reputation is recognized by the FDA, TGA, Health Canada, every official government body overseeing this arena on the planet, and closing in on about 55 employees now, and over here in sunny California in Garden Grove, Orange County.
Very nice. And one of the things, Elan, that I remember from the UNPA member retreat in Utah was this big banner that talked about Alkemist Assured.
Yes.
And I was like, what's that?
Uh-huh.
So I got that question answered, but
Sure.
I'd like you to answer it again, because I'm going to ask that for the benefit of our listeners. What exactly is Alkemist Assured?
Sure. So I identify as a marketing guy with a chemistry degree. I probably should have stayed a marketing guy and would have graduated much sooner because chemistry is hard, but I had to do it. We got through it. And so now we have this laboratory. Back to my marketing, I've always thought this industry does an absolute terrible job at marketing its quality. We're very quick to talk about all the other important value propositions, regenerative agriculture, which is wonderful and important, organic, fair trade, all of these things, but not a lot is said about our quality in this industry. And in fact, when you look at some of the biggest players in this industry, they say very, very little about quality. And as you and I know, that you really can't say a lot about our products as far as the efficacy arena, but you can say as much as you want about quality. And so I started looking around and I saw a lot of brands spending a lot of money with our lab and other labs, and asked around, like, hey, what are you doing to share this story? And the answer was nothing.
Yep.
And so basically, the brands that we work with do a great job, and they do above and beyond what they're supposed to do, but they take that certificate of analysis proving that the batch or the finished product is what they say it is, or of the quality they say, or also free from contaminants. So those are the tests that we do. And they put that marketing gold in a drawer of a mid-level quality control professional, and, bless their heart. But now what? And I saw an opportunity to say, hey, let's share this data. And so we created Alkemist Assured with the intention to really serve the curious consumers out there, the prosumers who really want to know. Noticing is up. It's going up, and everyone wants to know more and more and more. So we basically provide a Reader's Digest version, a consumer-centric version of our certificate of analysis. The customers get one for the nerds in quality and the regulators, and they get one for marketing. And the intention is to share batch-to-batch quality data at the consumer level. Now, oddly enough, it's transformed into, as we're talking about with Somato, ingredients, and that we're also working with contract manufacturers now. So my idea has actually trickled back down the supply chain to the source and the origins of where these things are being made and who's making them. So now we have Alkemist Assured ingredients. We have Alkemist Assured contract manufacturers in some cases, and then a few Alkemist Assured finished products on store shelves around the planet, which to me is, again, it's important to be able to tell this quality story, because I truly believe our industry has the quality. We are not a problematic industry. We have the lowest recall rate out of all FDA regulated categories, including pharma, food, veterinary.
Which is amazing if you stop to think about that.
Right.
So many people out there, when they make crazy statements like, well, the dietary supplement industry isn't regulated, or
it's misinformation.
They don't even understand
No.
that we really have a tremendous reputation from the quality perspective.
Precisely. So I felt compelled to say, hey, let's give an opportunity to share that. At the consumer level or just in the industry, like you said, we are plagued with misinformation that we're unregulated, unsafe, untested, and those are all false. That's all false information being perpetuated by entities that don't want to see us be successful. Entities that will see us, divert their revenue streams, because there are natural sources and choices that people can make, and if they can get past this false information that we're unregulated, unsafe, and untested, which is false, false, and false, they might be able to make better choices. I'll share that this is an invitation-only program. You can't just come over and sign up. You have to be vetted. And the beautiful thing is, it's what brands like yours is already doing. We're really not asking you to do much more than the testing you already have to do. There might be a slight increase based on cadence of batches, but the data is there. We're just giving you an avenue to share it, and just appreciative that your brand has chosen ours to work this way.
Well, and that's a good segue into my last question. Now that our Somato, our tomato-derived phytomelatonin, is Alkemist Assured, what does that say to the brand owners and the manufacturers who are interested in purchasing our material? And what does that say to the consumers as well?
Trust, I think, is an endangered species, unfortunately. It comes from transparency. It's earned. You can't buy trust. You have to earn trust. And I think what you're doing by going out on a limb extra than any other brand is doing in your category shows that you have the confidence to, drop the kimono, so to speak. There's nothing to hide. You did all the work. Your products are passing all the tests that are required, and then some. Why not share it? Because your competitors are not able to do that, because they're not, one, doing the testing, and two, if they did, they'd probably fail it and wouldn't be able to share. Without this, it's left to price, it's left to marketing colors on labels, it's left to shelf space, it's left to celebrity influencers. I mean, that can get really, really complicated and messy, and it's hard for the consumers to know what is a good product, what's not. Showing them a CSI report that they don't have to fully understand, but the fact that it's available and accessible and transparent, and proudly broadcasted from the tops of the mountains, I think is what's necessary to earn that choice in purchasing at the consumer level, at the ingredient level, contract manufacturer level. I think it's the last value proposition we have not lost yet, is transparency about quality. Our quality story needs to be told, and your brand is doing a great job at that.
Well, thank you, Elan. And you mentioned something earlier about people wanting to want to see the information.
Noticing is up.
And that noticing is up. And people want to know that they're getting quality. My generation, baby boomers, were often willing to take people's word for stuff. Just, it's your quality because you wrote quality on it.
Sure.
Now, God bless them, the younger generation wants some proof. They want to know. Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. It gives me more hope for our industry. Yeah. And I'm pleased that you have this program. I'm pleased that we were able to have our Somato as an Alkemist Assured material. So if anybody wants a good phytomelatonin, they know where to go. So thanks again, Elan. I'm really glad to have you on this. Yeah. And I'll see the rest of you with the next edition of the Vitamin Professor video newsletter.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.